I'm just Johnny Backup today. I know I'm just filling in.
Stop.
But I feel comfortable with you guys, and I've obviously
don't feel too comfortable.
Very much consume the show on a daily basis. So I know you guys have talked ad nauseum about the Justin Fields situation in Chicago, and how everyone is just saying that just start the guy, right? And yet Matt Nagy has pushed and pushed and pushed, and then suddenly had an epiphany, a revelation, and of course, it came to him and only him, and he made that decision, as he'll always let us know that he is the final say guy. I just have to say this, Key, you're so good at being able to give us the coach speak, how a coach would say something. It's a lot of fun to do it because you're really good at that ramble where I'm saying a lot, but I'm saying nothing. And I feel like if anyone needs some consulting on this, it would be Matt Nagy. So let's make this less about Justin Fields and more about the coach, because I know Dan Orlovsky has said he should be fired like immediately and all that stuff. I just feel like the guy, you could question decisions that are made by him either during a game or those now made by others. But I feel like one way to judge somebody and whether or not they are a really good head coach is just basically your podium presence. Because what I say as somebody that was in the media as a reporter for 20 years is if you can't command our room, how are you commanding your room, Jay, and your room, Key? Like, you're a player. You look at a coach and he's talking to the room. I imagine a lot of you guys are like the same way we are. Like, okay, like you're not speaking with conviction. You're trying too hard to explain yourself all the time. Let's listen to some examples of the past week of Matt Nagy and just how the flip-flopping and also the reminding you of how important he still is to the process. That's what tells me I would question whether or not he should be the head coach of this franchise. Let's begin with just post-game, after a win, and Justin Fields plays and plays well, and Bill Lazor was the play caller. They let the offense coordinator take over the play calling, and Matt Nagy explained how that process went. And don't forget, I'm still the CEO.
In regards to the play calling, Bill did a great job, and I think that, at the same point in time, it's important that we understand that I felt good out there as a head coach, and that's real. We all get together, we talk through how we're going to call the game. I get a great opportunity to say, yes, I like this, or no, I don't, as the head coach, right, in charge of all that. That's real. Whatever I need to do to try to be the best head coach for the Chicago Bears, whatever that is, I don't care. I just want us to have the best opportunity to win.
A lot of me and I in that whole thing, while in a question that was to give credit to the job that someone else on his staff did in that game. Do you guys see that?
I mean, I understand. I see what you're talking about. And this is where I tend to get into trouble with people because it sounds as though I'm protecting the head coach and Matt Nagy. But Matt Nagy is 100% correct and right in terms of the buck stops with him. When you are on the sidelines, and a lot of people, offensive coordinators, right, and defensive coordinators, but in particular, offensive coordinators, they don't have the final say all the time. And so asking a head coach, hey, it's 3rd and 5, what do you think? And then the head coach saying, give me your best run here. That's essentially him still calling the plays because they game plan together. And when they game plan together, they go through the script and they say, here's what we want on 3rd, here's what we want on 2nd and long, here's what we want on 1st and 10. And they kind of put the package together as a unit. The offensive coordinator doesn't do it all by itself. But what he wants to do is he wants to let you know that I'm still the head coach and the buck stops with me. So don't think just because we had a decent game on offense, I didn't have any input.
Yeah, I get that part. I think the point I'm making, though, is a lot of us really do know that that's how the process works. You didn't need to say it. All right, let's just listen to these back-to-back because this now goes beyond the play calling. This is now just decision-making of who plays and who doesn't. So back-to-back, this is Nagy from Monday and then from Wednesday. Listen to these.
Like we said this whole time, when Andy's healthy, right, when he's healthy, he's our starter. He's the 1, Justin's the 2, Nick's the 3. So what's been great about this, the last couple of weeks is Justin's had the opportunity to play and get significant snaps, and he's grown from it. So now we just got to see, where is Andy's health at? Honestly, the next 2 days will be revealing to us. And then once that happens and we get a feel for where he is, then we as coaches decide, okay, hey, where are we at right now? How do we feel he is percentage-wise, Andy, to be able to go into that game as the starter?
All right, the suggestion is he should be the starter. 2 days later, he says this.
I've always said from the beginning to everybody in here, to our players, coaches, to y'all when y'all ask, is that we'll know. And he's done everything to show us that he's ready for this opportunity.
Now, that would be he, Justin Fields. So suddenly we go from the process of Andy Dalton being healthy and he'll be the starter to Justin Fields is our starter now and it's time.
I'm a firm believer that Matt Nagy is not a master plotter. And everybody's like, oh, this is exactly the way he wanted to set up.
It's very
him
clear
getting his job and an extension. And, Justin Fields has always been a safety blanket. Well, my thing is listening to him. There is a legitimate concern that, for me, they promised Andy Dalton QB1 throughout the summer. And he wanted to keep to that promise. And all that back and forth, it just, like, that wouldn't give me supreme confidence in my coach. Hearing him go back and forth, wavering like that, it feels like somebody from the top down said, we're not playing around with this anymore. You're going to start Justin Fields moving forward. Let's start in that direction.
See, I don't think he said anything different. He just used different words and set it up different. But it came out the same meaning to me. I don't see anything different because the first thing that he said was they're going to evaluate Andy Dalton. They're going to see where he's at, 1, 2, and 3 quarterbacks. And in the end, they're going to make a decision as a staff on whether Andy Dalton can be the guy moving forward. And then he comes back the next day and he says, hey, they looked at everything with Justin Fields. He's done a tremendous job. That's the same thing. They're evaluating the situation. So I don't really see what he did that was any different.
I felt like it's the flip-flopping that's going on publicly. Whatever happens behind the scenes is one thing, but I just feel like, again, face of the franchise kind of stuff, you got to command that podium. It never seemed like he was consistent with his messaging, and it felt like he was trying to over-explain things, which I just feel like adds to you wondering if they know what they're doing there. That's basically
it. But
right.
See, Alan, in the room, the players know. They know. They're not. We on the outside are getting mixed signals and mixed messages and all that. But the actual players, they know.
We shall see. We're asking on the Dr. Pepper Twitter, which NFL team's future stock is rising and which one is falling? You can be part of KJM Nation on the Dr. Pepper Twitter feed or call in line 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. ESPN Nation is presented by Dr. Pepper. College football's back, so are the fans. Return to glory with Fansville by Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve. So how is the most replaceable guy in the NFL on a team? The quarterback of a team who helped a franchise snap the longest playoff drought in football. That is after Jay has this from O'Reilly.
When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just